Welcome to Behind the Yellow Door at Two Friends. This week is the Two Friends Christmas party. We're at my house, so I want you to come on in and let me show you what we're going to do. So when setting a table and decorating my house for the holidays, I love to clip things from my yard. So I'm heading out right now so I can clip some things so they'll be fresh for our party tonight. So this morning when I was thinking about what I was going to clip today, I opened up my curtains and I saw this beautiful camellia. It's the first camellia of the season. This is a really old tree that has probably been here for about 50 years. When we bought this house, I was so excited to have this old established tree in my yard. And every year she just produces the most gorgeous pink camellias. So once I have my camellia cut, I love to come back here and clip some fern, and I've got rosemary and other smaller items that I can slip in bud vases in my powder room and around the house to keep it nice and fresh for my guests. In the South, we love using magnolia. And of course, that's what I just went and clipped out back. And when I'm setting the table, I love to keep the centerpieces low so that everyone at the table can see each other. I had something here earlier and it was just a little too high, so I took it out and thought, you know what, I'm just gonna go clip some magnolia and some oranges and some lemons from my yard, and we're gonna work that into the centerpiece. But one of the things that I really wanted you to see that I absolutely love that we sell at the store that I have so enjoyed this year is the candles that you can light with a remote. This is so easy. It's a click on and a click off. Y'all, they look so real and they're so easy. So we can leave these on, it doesn't melt, it doesn't get messy. Ready to turn everything off and head to bed, I simply click and there they go. Such a great product for entertaining. Sure if you can see my Christmas china. I have the Spode original Christmas tree here. I was just telling Priscilla, who's behind the camera, about how I got this set of china. When I was in college, I studied abroad in England, and we actually went to the factory where this was made. And I just decided that I had to have some, and instead of sending it back via mail, which was too much for a college student to do, I chose to carry this in a duffel bag, 8-piece place settings, all the way back to the United States. Carried it around for a number of weeks, and luckily none of it broke. Every time I get ready to set my Christmas table, I have to use this Spode Christmas tree because it brings back a lot of great memories for me. One of the things that I love about using citrus in centerpieces, especially this time of the year, is this is actually when the citrus becomes ripe. And as you can see here, my trees are just laden with the Spanish moss. Now, typically I would pull this moss off if this was going to stay on the table for an extended period of time. But this is just for tonight, and I like the look of the Spanish moss, and I love the look of the citrus put back into arrangements. And you know, back in the day, citrus was oftentimes put in stockings because, as I said, it was the time of the year that this citrus became ready and was ready for picking. Now I have to show y'all, these are beautiful lemons off of my lemon tree out there. Aren't these just, some are small, but look how big and gorgeous this is. My lemon tree is also original to this house, which I have to think is probably about 50 years old. The citrus is just yummy. I have kumquat trees, I have tangerine trees, and I have these big, beautiful lemons that come off of a big old lemon tree as well. So now I'm getting ready ready to get my vases put together to go in the powder room and just to spread around. I absolutely love and collect these beautiful trumpet vases that are sterling. Now, one of the things is when I pull these out for any event, they always need polishing. But to me, that's one of the fun things about having old silver. I like that moment that I get to have where it's so dirty and then I just spend a little time loving on it and it just shines up so beautifully. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. In my powder room, I have a blue and white chinoiserie wallpaper. So I always like to use a little small blue and white container in there. In this, I'm going to put in my pink camellia because I think the pink on my navy turns out really pretty. This was just another little stem that had a little bud on it. I'm going to stick that in there. I've got some of the fern that I'm going to just tuck in here behind it. Now this is just so easy to do, and it's just a nice little touch when your guests go to the powder room. It looks like you've just taken a little extra time to make it special. And there is my finished product that'll go in my guest bathroom. And next, I was just going to use some of the other clippings that I had in the yard. I love holly, and for some reason this year our holly only had a few little berries on it. So I'm just going to use some of the holly that I clipped. I love putting it back with some of the little citrus. These are some of the little oranges that are still green that have not yet turned orange, which I think works back pretty with this particular holly. I love the colors of the greens here. Now, something else that I had blooming out there was just these pretty little yellow flowers. And of course, you know, I love anything that's yellow. So I'm going to tuck that down in there. I'm going to stick a little bit of the fern in as well. And I've got a little bit of rosemary that I think it just smells good. And this particular little vase I'm going to keep here in the kitchen. So we're going to fluff that so it looks just right. I'm going to put another of my ferns in back here just to give it a little height. And then I'm going to come back here with, let me clip this, come back here with another little tiny citrus. So when I entertain, I always like to have a fun cocktail to serve to my guests. And tonight, we're gonna have this particular cocktail with dessert. It's gonna be a dessert cocktail. So most of you have seen a version of this before, where you do a little Kahlua, a little Bailey's, put some heavy cream, and I added cold brew back to this recipe here. You stir it all up, and I also put just a little bit of peppermint in, so it gives it a little bit of a bright taste, a little bit of Christmas, I think. And what I'm gonna do, I saw this on Pinterest, y'all, and I love the idea. So I went and bought glass ornaments. Of course, I washed them really well, and I'm gonna fill the ornament up with the wonderful concoction that I just mixed up. As you can see here, I've already got these ready to go, but how I will serve it is I will put in candy cane on one side and one of my fun festive green striped straws on the other side. Okay, how cute is that? I use this container in the winter when the camellias are blooming, and I float camellias in it with floating candles, but I thought tonight it would be a great thing to do. I'm going to fill it with ice, and then I'm going to have all of the ornaments sitting here so that the girls can select one and enjoy it with their dessert from Del Sur.